My Destiny Journal is a sacred invitation to pause, reflect, and reconnect with the truth of who you are and where you're headed. It's not just a place to write, it's a space to remember your worth, reclaim your voice, and reignite your purpose.
This is more than a journal. It's your sacred space to slow down, to breathe, and to remember who you are. 7 days, 7 affirmations, space to write, reflect, pray, or simply listen inward.
Whether you're healing, dreaming, or rediscovering your path, My Destiny Journal meets you where you are.
This 130-page journal is the only invitation you'll need for a lifelong date with your destiny. Your journey begins now.
All right, family. Now it's time to go deeper. This is the moment where we peel back the layers, challenge old thinking, and get real about what's truly holding us back and what can finally push us forward. So grab your journals, lean in, and don't just listen, engage. And if something resonates with you tonight, do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share this message with someone who needs it, because the conversation we're having is bigger than us. This is the world premiere word on the streets.
Before we can shift into an abundance mindset, we must begin with honesty. Brutal, uncompromising honesty, because you can't shift what you won't name. And many of us are walking around not realizing that we are living under the shadow of scarcity. Not just financial scarcity, but emotional, mental, relational scarcity. This deeply rooted belief that there is never enough, and worse, that we are never enough, doesn't always shout at us. In fact, scarcity whispers. It creeps in through thoughts like, I don't have what it takes, or I'll never catch up, or why would anyone choose me? It shows up in our relationships when we withhold love or support because deep down, we fear we'll be depleted if we give too much. It shows up in business when we hoard ideas or compete destructively. It shows up in how we receive compliments. We deflect them, minimize them, push them away because scarcity says, you don't deserve that. This mindset is not accidental. It is inherited. Most of us were taught it before we even had the language to name it. Through culture, through our families, through repeated disappointment or unmet needs. We were taught that life is a pie. If someone else gets a big slice, there's less for us. We were taught that love must be earned, that success is rare, and that safety only comes from control. But let's pause here. Let's really question. What if this scarcity lens isn't reality? It's just a story we've been told. A story so persistent and normalized that it feels like truth. But just because something feels true doesn't mean it is true. Feelings are real, but they aren't always reliable indicators of truth, especially when they've been shaped by unchallenged narratives. The scarcity mindset is kind of psychological confinement. It tells you, be careful, stay small, don't ask for too much. It convinces you that joy must be earned through suffering, that opportunity is a one-time shot, and that there's not enough love, time, or recognition to go around. And here's where the real shift begins. When you start to observe that mindset instead of merging with it, when you become conscious of the scarcity script playing in the background of your life, you can begin to rewrite it. That's where the door opens. Because what you're conscious of, you can change. What stays in the dark stays in control. Because what you're conscious of, you can change. What stays in the dark stays in control. Because what you're conscious of, you can change. What stays in the dark stays in control.